What if I told you that the delay you're facing is not denial? That God is working behind the scenes right now, preparing a breakthrough that will turn everything around in your favor? Stay with me, because your turning point is closer than you think. When you look at your life right now, you might see delays, disappointments, or unanswered prayers. You've been waiting, praying, hoping, and maybe even wondering if God still remembers you. But I want to tell you something today with full assurance. God is about to turn it around for you. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. His timing is never off. It may feel like heaven is silent, but heaven is never inactive. Behind the scenes, the hand of God is arranging things you cannot see. Every struggle you've faced, every tear you've cried, every setback you've endured has not been wasted. There is purpose in the pain. God has been using your trials to shape your faith, to develop your endurance, and to position you for something far greater than what you have imagined. Don't despise the season you're in. It's the very soil where your breakthrough is growing. Faith is the key that unlocks the turnaround. This is the moment to keep believing, even when nothing seems to change. God does some of his greatest work when you least expect it. One phone call, one meeting, one unexpected encounter can shift everything in a single day. That's how breakthroughs often come suddenly, after a long season of waiting. And I want you to remember, God's favor is already at work for you. He's aligning the right people, opening doors you didn't even knock on, and preparing blessings that have your name on them. While you've been praying, he's been preparing. While you've been sowing tears, he's been arranging the harvest. Your part is to stay faithful. Keep walking in obedience. Don't let bitterness, doubt, or fear take root in your heart. The enemy wants to convince you that nothing is happening, but in reality, everything is moving according to God's perfect design. When your breakthrough comes, and it won't just change your life, it will impact the lives of those around you. Your story of restoration, healing, or provision will become a beacon of hope for others who are waiting for their turn. So lift your head today. Wipe those tears. Keep your heart open. You are closer than you think. The night is darkest just before the dawn, but morning is coming, and with it, the turnaround you've been praying for. God is faithful, and he has not forgotten you. There are moments in life when we feel rushed, impatient, or anxious about the path we are on. Yet God's timing is always perfect. He does not make mistakes, nor does he operate according to our clocks or calendars. Often, the delays we despise are the very pauses he uses to protect us, to prepare us, or to position us for something greater. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. It means he is working it out in the best possible way. When we learn to trust his timing, our hearts find rest even in uncertainty. Relationships bloom when they are planted in the right season. Careers flourish when doors open at the appointed moment. And dreams manifest when the soil of our character has been tilled. Many people force things out of fear of waiting and later regret the premature choices they made. God's clock is never slow. It is set perfectly to his plan for your life. Sometimes his perfect timing requires us to release control and surrender our own agendas. In relationships, this may mean waiting for the right person rather than chasing after anyone who gives temporary attention. In your calling, it may mean staying faithful in the small tasks before the big opportunity arrives. His ways are higher, and though you may not understand the delay, one day you will look back and thank him for it. Every moment of waiting is also a moment of preparation. While you wait, he is shaping your character, pruning distractions, and making sure you are strong enough to carry what you've been praying for. If the blessing came too soon, it could break you instead of bless you. Trust that every closed door, every delay, and every unanswered prayer is aligning you for something better than what you imagined. So today, choose patience over panic. Choose faith over frustration. Believe that the God who started a good work in you will complete it in the right season. Don't let comparison steal your joy. Someone else's timeline is not your own. When the time is right, no force in hell or on earth can stop what God has prepared for you. Hold on. Your moment will come exactly when it's meant to, not a minute too soon or too late. There is a reason for every tear you've cried and every burden you've carried. Life's struggles are not random punishments. They are often the tools God uses to shape your heart and strengthen your faith. Just as a seed must push through the dark soil before it reaches the light, Your struggles are the pressure that prepares you for the growth you cannot yet see. Pain has a purpose when it is placed in God's hands. In relationships, struggles reveal what is genuine and what is shallow. They test loyalty, patience, and true intentions. A friendship or marriage that endures hardship often comes out stronger, built on deeper trust and understanding. Without challenges, we might take love for granted. God allows certain struggles to refine the people in our lives and to teach us how to love with wisdom rather than just emotion. Your struggles also build resilience within you. Every obstacle you've faced has added a layer of strength that comfort alone could never provide. The very moments you thought would break you are the same ones shaping your courage, your character, and your testimony. What you are enduring now will become the reason someone else does not give up, because they saw you make it through. Sometimes struggles are a divine redirection. What you call a setback might actually be God's way of steering you away from harm or toward a better plan. The door that closed, the job you lost, the relationship that didn't work out, all may be His way of saying, I have something better for you. Pain is often the whisper that gets our attention when comfort made us deaf to His voice. So do not curse the process you are in. Hold on to faith, even when the path feels heavy. Trust that every trial is a teacher and every hardship carries a hidden lesson. The struggles of today can become the strength of tomorrow if you let God use them. What feels like breaking may actually be building. Stay faithful. Your purpose is being written in the very lines of your struggle. Faith is the key that unlocks the doors you've been waiting to walk through. It is not just a feeling. It is a choice to believe that God is working even when your eyes see no change. Many times, the turnaround does not start with the situation shifting. It starts with your heart deciding to trust Him. When you choose faith over fear, you give God room to move in ways far greater than your own strength ever could. In relationships, faith keeps you from forcing connections or clinging to what is fading. It helps you trust that the right people will stay and the wrong ones will leave, all in God's timing. Faith says, I will love with wisdom. I will wait with patience, and I will not settle out of desperation. This kind of faith invites the right doors to open and the wrong ones to close without bitterness or regret. Faith is powerful because it sees beyond the present moment. While doubt looks at obstacles, faith sees the one who can move them. The woman who prays for her family. The man who believes his broken business can rise again. The couple who chooses to rebuild instead of walking away. All are planting seeds for a turnaround. Their faith becomes the bridge between where they are and where God is taking them. But faith also requires action. It is not passive, it is alive. It means showing up, working hard, speaking words of hope, and refusing to quit even when you feel like giving up. It means forgiving when it hurts, trying again when you failed, and praising before the blessing shows up. That kind of faith draws the supernatural into the natural and accelerates change. So if you want to see a turnaround in your life, start by stirring your faith. Speak what you hope for, not what you fear. Walk as if the answer is already on its way. When God sees faith, He moves mountains, restores what's broken, and writes new chapters you never dreamed possible. Your turnaround begins not when the storm stops, but when your heart believes the sun will shine again. Divine favor is not something you earn by perfection. It is a gift from God that surrounds you even when life feels ordinary. It is His invisible hand arranging details, opening doors, and placing you in the right place at the right time. Many blessings you enjoy today were not the result of your strength alone, but the favor of God working quietly behind the scenes on your behalf. In relationships, divine favor brings the right people into your path and removes those who are not meant for your future. It softens hearts that were once hardened, restores connections that seem broken beyond repair, and shields you from toxic ties that would have drained your peace. What you cannot fix with your own efforts, God can turn around with the touch of His favor. His favor often shows up in ways we do not recognize at first. A job offer you never expected, an opportunity that seems tailor-made, a second chance when you thought you had none left. These are marks of His hand guiding your steps. When you live with gratitude and integrity, His favor flows even more freely, making crooked paths straight and burdens lighter. Divine favor also positions you for moments of breakthrough. While others may struggle for years trying to push open a door, one moment of God's favor can open it with ease. It is not always about working harder, but about walking in alignment with His will and trusting His process. Favor does what human effort cannot. It accelerates progress and magnifies impact. So live with expectation, knowing His favor is already at work for you. Do not measure your future by what you see today. The same God who has brought you this far is still writing your story. When His favor goes before you, setbacks turn into stepping stones, delays become divine setups, and what was meant to harm you becomes the very thing that lifts you higher. There are seasons when it feels like nothing is changing. Prayers seem unanswered, efforts appear wasted, and time feels like an enemy. Yet God often works in ways unseen, building the foundation for a breakthrough that arrives without warning. What looks like delay is preparation, and what feels like silence is often His strategy. When the moment comes, it happens swiftly, turning what was stagnant into something alive with possibility. In relationships, this sudden shift can heal what years of words could not. A hardened heart can soften overnight. A broken bond can find restoration in a single conversation. Or a long-distance silence can turn into reconciliation through an unexpected call. God does not need months to do what He can. What we wait for in tears often comes with a smile when His timing arrives. Breakthrough is rarely about our ability to force things. It's about remaining faithful while God orchestrates the details. You may plant, you may water, you may labor, but the increase belongs to Him. That's why many of the greatest testimonies begin with, I didn't see it coming. When you least expect it, the pieces align, the opportunity appears, and the door that was once locked swings wide. The key is to stay prepared in the waiting season. Keep nurturing your faith, strengthening your character, and showing up even when progress is invisible. Sudden breakthrough is never random. It meets the heart that is ready, the hands that are willing, and the spirit that refuses to give up. It may take a long time to arrive, but when it does, it will feel like overnight success. So do not despise the long nights or the quiet stretches where nothing seems to move. God is often setting up something far greater than your timeline imagined. The miracle that feels far off could already be on its way. And when it comes, it will remind you that His power is not limited by time. Be ready, because sudden change can happen in the very moment you choose to keep believing. Every word you've spoken in prayer has been heard, even when heaven seems silent. God does not ignore the cries of a sincere heart, nor does He overlook the whispered requests spoken in faith. Prayers may seem unanswered, but they are never forgotten. They are stored like seeds in God's timing, waiting for the right season to bloom. What you thought was lost in delay is often growing roots in the unseen. In relationships, prayers can work quietly where words cannot reach. You may pray for healing in a marriage, for peace in a family, or for reconciliation with a friend, and nothing seems to change. But prayer softens hearts over time, moves mountains we cannot touch, and prepares the soil for restoration. God uses prayer to change not just circumstances, but also the people within them, including you. Sometimes the greatest work of prayer is not immediate answers, but inner transformation. While you ask for doors to open, God may be preparing your heart to walk through them wisely. While you seek change in others, He may be shaping your patience, your forgiveness, and your strength. No prayer is ever wasted because it always moves something, if not in the world, then within you. Delayed answers do not mean denied requests. God often withholds certain things until the moment they will do the most good, not the most harm. Like a wise father, He knows when to give and when to hold, and every prayer you have lifted is part of His equation for your future. The silence is not rejection, it is preparation for a more complete blessing. So keep praying with expectation, even when nothing seems to shift. Keep believing that your words carry weight in the heavens, and your faith is building a bridge to the miracle you cannot yet see. When the answer comes, and you will realize that not a single moment in prayer was in vain. God gathers them all and releases them in the perfect time, turning your patience into praise. Obedience is often the quiet bridge between your prayer and your breakthrough. It may not always feel exciting, and sometimes it asks you to keep doing what feels unnoticed, but it is the path where God releases His promises. When you remain in the place He has called you, whether in patience, service, or faithfulness, you position yourself for the blessing that is already on its way. In relationships, obedience means following the principles of love, forgiveness, and integrity, even when it is hard. It's choosing to stay kind when hurt, to be faithful when tempted, and to communicate truthfully when silence feels easier. These simple acts of obedience invite peace, restore trust, and build connections that last because they are rooted in God's ways rather than fleeting emotions. Sometimes obedience means waiting when everything in you wants to rush ahead. It may mean staying where you are planted until the right door opens, or releasing what God has asked you to let go of, even when it feels costly. What looks like sacrifice now often turns into protection and preparation later. God honors the heart that trusts his instruction more than its own impulses. Obedience is rarely convenient, but it is always fruitful. It positions you in the flow of God's favor, keeps you under the shelter of his guidance, and protects you from unnecessary detour. The breakthrough you seek may already be set in motion, but it often meets the one who stayed steady in the last instruction they received, not the one who kept running after every distraction. So stay where God has called you until he moves you. Keep serving, keep forgiving, keep sowing seeds of faith even when no one applauds. Your obedience is not wasted. It is a testimony that you trust his timing more than your own. And when the moment comes, you will see that what he had for you was worth every step of surrender. When God gives you a breakthrough, it is never meant for you alone. The blessing that lifts you up often becomes the light that guides others out of their own darkness. Your healing can inspire someone to believe again. Your restored marriage can give hope to a struggling couple. And your success can remind others that patience and faith are never wasted. God's goodness flows through you so it can reach beyond you. In relationships, the lessons you learn through your journey become the wisdom someone else needs. The forgiveness you extend may teach others the power of letting go. The patience you showed in waiting for the right person may encourage a friend not to settle. Every breakthrough carries seeds of encouragement that can be planted in the lives around you. It is how God multiplies his impact. Sometimes the pain you endured equips you to comfort those who walk the same path. The nights you spent crying become the reason you know how to speak peace into someone else's storm. Your story carries a power that no theory or advice could ever hold, because it was lived, not just learned. God turns your scars into signposts that point others toward hope and healing. Your breakthrough also builds faith in your community. When people see what God has done in your life, it stirs something within them to believe for their own miracle. Testimonies spread like sparks. One story of restoration can ignite a flame of faith in many hearts. That is why sharing your victory matters. It is not pride, it is praise. So when the turnaround comes, don't keep it silent. Tell your story, live it out with humility, and let others see the hand of God through your journey. Your breakthrough is not just a finish line, it is a beginning of influence, encouragement, and light. The same God who blessed you intends to use your life as proof that he can do it for them too. So don't give up now. Your miracle is already in motion. Keep the faith, stay obedient, and watch how God shifts everything for your good. Your breakthrough is coming, so get ready to step into